It's time to break it open and really stand out. Broken Air. It's here.
On Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Lagos.
All right, good morning and welcome to Trends in the Papers on Mainland 98.3 FM. I trust that we had an awesome night's rest, and I trust that we are even up to an even awesome and even way awesome more morning. All right, so it's a beautiful Thursday, it's Throwback Thursday, and I hope that even as you throw back or as you look back on certain memories, I hope that it would be some sort of propelling machine that will propel you to even greater things. I hope it's not something that you look back on and be like, oh, I wish I had this, or I wish I was this, or I wish I didn't do this. Don't look back in regret. The most important thing is that you realize what needs to be done and you get it done. That's the most important thing. All right, so yes, it's time for Trends in the Papers, and this is the part where we get to look at the different trending stories from the papers this morning. And we have our papers with us already: The Guardian, The Punch, The Nation, and Vanguard newspaper. And we're going to be looking through, the different major headlines across the papers. Today is Thursday, and on Mainland Focus, as we know on Thursdays, we open up the phone line for you to just pick whatever trending story that piqued your interest in the course of trends in the papers, and then you get to share your thoughts and contribution. That's how Thursday works. So we're not going to push out a particular focus for this morning on Mainland Focus. So all you have to do is sit back and stay with us all through trends in the papers, and then when we get to the Mainland Focus, whatever thoughts or contributions you want to share as regards any of the trending stories, all you have to do is call in or send a text message or a WhatsApp message. All right, so let's get to it. My name is Omobola Sandra, and I have with me via the phone line our analyst, in-house analyst, Fuad Said. Good morning, Fuad.
Good morning, Sandra.
Yes, thank you very much for joining in this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's see let's go through the trending stories that we have from our papers this morning. I'll be starting with the Guardian newspaper, and the major headline from the Guardian is, of course, 2023. Wike's camp reopens PDP wounds, snubs Atiku's campaign. Just before we go to the riders, I just want to quickly ask a question. When you say reopens PDP wounds, are we saying that these issues or the crisis or the problems that they're having in PDP right now has been there or had been there before, and it's just a reminder, or they're just bringing it to people's consciousness?
Well, the problem has been there before. The PDP problem started from the Jonathan era. So where you had the likes of Saraki and the rest who defected then to the APC, only to return some years after. So the PDP has always had that trouble. It's always been there. Remember that even the former president at some point had to tear his membership card in public. So the wounds have been there. It has never healed completely. Okay. And efforts have never been made to heal up completely. So
all right.
These ones are, I think it's not a fresh wound, honestly. It's just like they are digging.
Just a reminder. Okay, it's all right. Okay, so we have riders to that particular headline. It says here that Atiku, I can't force Ayu to resign. Bode George reiterates position on Southern chairmanship. Crisis will soon be over, BOT chairman assures. Oyo PDP, Southwest Forum back Wike and Makinde. Wike's demand, noble, says APC chieftain. So, as it is now, but don't you find it interesting, though, that for a while now, for some days now, Wike has been silent about his inclusion in the committee, the presidential campaign, committee that has, his fellow presidential aspirants also. He hasn't said anything as regards that.
Of course, he doesn't have to say anything. If somebody is still telling you that the chairman needs to go for, proper reconciliation moves to be made, and then you suddenly just put his name on the campaign, committee list, he probably doesn't even to say anything. You understand that that's just a joke. I really don't know how Alhaji Atiku Abubakar would handle this Wike thing, because everything revolves around Wike. Really, I don't think maybe Makinde or Otom would really be bothered about the chairman of the party, if not for Wike insisting that the chairman must go. I have a feeling that eventually Atiku would have to prevail on the chairman, would have to find a way to convince him to step down, so to resign his position, so that at least. But like one of my friends and associates were discussing yesterday, and what he said was that if Ayu resigns, he has a feeling that other demands will come, and don't be over in terms of the trouble bedeviling the PDP at this time. But I suspect that Atiku will have to find a way to appeal to the chairman, convince him to step down.
All right, but if you also look at it, remember that we discussed the fact that Wike and his camp, they had a meeting at Port Harcourt in the course of the week. Yes, okay, so apparently there's a decision that was taken after that particular meeting, and the decision is that members of the team have agreed not to participate. Yes, not to participate in any of the presidential campaign activities pending the resignation of Ayu. So what is your own take on that position? Do you think at this time now with campaign?
I think a strictly contested, a strictly
position,
strong contest like the one that we are, projecting to have in 2023. This is the time that three major contenders need everybody on board. You don't want to go into this kind of contest with a divided house. So I suspect that he's going to be having a private conversation with Ayu, and we maybe in a few days' time see a situation where the chairman would eventually step down for peace to reign in the party. It's one job that I don't fancy anybody taking, honestly. The job of the chairman of the PDP. The past records have not been good at all. It's always been one crisis or the other, when it comes to the chairmanship of that party. But it is what it is. I think now has a bigger job to do in terms of reconciling everybody in the party and bringing everybody on board.
All right, okay. Well, more details of that particular story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Moving on now. Also, this really interesting, very contentious story. ASU faults court ruling proceeds on appeal as lawyers seek compliance. So the industrial court has told ASU to go back to the classrooms. The students faulted that judgment and saying it wasn't fair, that their thoughts would have been that the industrial court should, appeal to the federal government, or should, pray to the federal government to attend to ASU rather than telling ASU to just go back to the classrooms. But what are your thoughts as regards that judgment?
Well, a lot of reactions, comments, commentaries on that particular judgment. If you remember, Sandra, yesterday, I said something that if the judgment says the lecturers or ASU should go back to class and they don't go, what happens? And I've seen a number of lawyers who have also, senior officers of Nigeria who have also analyzed that particular non-willing employer, and vice versa. That you don't force either on each other. If you have a willing employee, you cannot force such an employee on an unwilling employer. Same as you cannot force an unwilling employee on a willing employer. So a lot of them have felt that the judgment is coming from a wrong foot and a wrong angle. But I don't have to be a lawyer to know that judgment did not eventually stand. I like the fact that ASU is throwing the part of the law by going on an appeal. But I still want to see how that judgment would bring the lecturers back to class. And I asked a question yesterday. Maybe lawyers listening to me would help out. If the ASU don't go back to class, what will happen? Is somebody going to put rope on their neck and drag them back to class?
Back to the classrooms, exactly. Or I don't know. Is it possible to say, okay,
or to go and arrest all of them and say, go and teach?
I mean, I'm curious. Also, I'm just trying to.
I asked that question yesterday, and I felt that. So I understand the students who like, where is the judgment coming from? This is the time, and really, I feel the government is the one making a mess. But wake up from
To
that
intervene,
intervene, and again, Sandra, bring them to the round table.
All right. Well, more details on page 20. 3 weeks, but here we are. Once again, Allah clarifies. But we got the report that was why he resigned.
Well, when it comes to Tanko, there are a whole lot of unanswered questions, especially about his resignation questions and all of that. But I think we should just move on from the Tanko era. Although there are still allegations of corruption also surrounding his. Some people have even speculated that he had to resign because there are substantial evidences against him, and even the petition that you just mentioned. But if Ariwola is saying, the Supreme Court justice never wrote a petition against him, I think we may want to go with that. But if there are cases against him, I'm sure it will eventually come up at one time. But I think we should concentrate on what Ariwola will be bringing new to the bar and the bench. Let's see what's going to be coming from that end, now that he has been confirmed as the new CJN.
Okay.
I think I just want us to move forward from the Tanko era, look at what new will be coming from Justice Ariwola.
Well, more details on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. We also have fresh trouble for Ekweremadu as Enugu lawyer seeks declaration of seat vacant.
Because of his incarceration in the UK. You might want to read the report, but I understand where that's coming from.
That is where it is coming from, actually. He has been away from his seat for, I'm sure there's somewhere in the, probably the electoral laws or the constitution
even the constitution that talks about you being absent,
vacant from your seat for a certain period.
For a certain period of time. I don't have that particular law in my head now, but maybe the Barrister Bakari can help with that if he calls him. But I know that there are that kind of laws, even for the president too, when you are, away from your job physically for a number of for a number of days, your seat could be declared vacant.
Well,
so I
looking at the suit, they are asking. There's a lot of defendants there, but they're asking the court to declare that by the contemplation of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, the Senate Standing Orders 2015 as amended, and the Senate Legislative Calendar 2022, that the seat of Enugu West Senatorial District in the 9th Senate will be declared vacant by default if the senator representing it is without just cause absent from meetings of the Senate for a period amounting in aggregate to more than 1/3 of the total number of days during which the House of Senate meets, or in 1 year, which is the 1/3 of 181 days. And he argued that going by denial of several bail applications on Ekweremadu by the UK Metropolitan Court till date, and the fixing of his pre-trial on or before October 4, and also a trial on or before May 28, 2023, as judicially noticed, it cannot be rightly said that Ekweremadu will still be able to perform his duty of representing Enugu West. So, which is why they're asking the court to compel the Senate President, PDP, and INEC to declare Ekweremadu's seat vacant. Remember that Ekweremadu has been in this battle since June 2022. So that's June, July, August, and we're rounding up September very soon. So
I think it's a valid case, because again, you have to ask yourself, why should Ekweremadu still hold on to that position? Although he was elected, but it means that these people are not represented now that he's battling this kind of case. And the bail denial keeps coming. So and it would be unfair even to his constituents who should be properly represented in the Senate. So it's just normal that eventually we follow the law, declare seat vacant, a by-election is held to have somebody represent that particular constituency in the Senate. It's a valid case.
All right. Well, more details on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. Moving on, we also have here denying Kanu access to treatment is plot to kill him. That is also on page 7 of the Guardian. So let's see what exactly we have in the report. So the Coalition of Southeast Youth Leaders, COSIEL, has alleged that denying leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, access to his doctors by the DSS is a plot to kill him. So they're expressing concern over Kanu's health and saying that, they have condemned the action of DSS, which is threatening to the nation's democracy. But is there any reason why, Kanu will be denied access to medical care?
I would have thought that with the number of lawyers representing him, they would have filed a motion in the court, compelling the DSS to allow him have access to his private physicians and doctors. I don't know.
No, because the court actually gave the order, so DSS is just not. Mm-hmm.
If the court gives an order and the DSS is not yielding to that, the lawyers know what to do. They approach the court again to say, look, an order has been given, and up till now, the order has not been obeyed. There are always opportunities within our legal framework to get those kinds of things done. I don't really see why the DSS would be denying access to his personal physicians and doctors. I really don't. Again, if there's an order of the court, they're telling them to give him access, they should. Look, the fact that somebody is trying trial for whatever anything does not mean that we should dehumanize the person or deny the person some basic rights they should be well treated. You remember that he's not been found guilty. All of those things are still allegations. It could well be discharged and acquitted by a court of law. So, and at that point that he's still on trial, which is the constitutional thing to do, the legal thing to do, he should be given all his rights, especially when it comes to his health. We've seen people Obiano, who is still standing trial, is somewhere abroad now, enjoying himself. And he was granted that bill or that opportunity based on health grounds.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have an Nnamdi Kanu, yes, you might say he's standing trial for use of treason and all of that, but at least that should not deny him the rights to proper medical care. If he wants it done, look, I'm sure his personal physicians are in Nigeria. They can always take care of him, even within the DSS facility.
All right. Thank you very much. More details of that on page 7. And finally, from the Guardian newspaper, we have banks tinker with forex sale templates, set new operating rules. Okay, let's just see to try to get some sort of insight into that. So what we have is that deposit money banks, or what a lot of us call commercial banks, are tweaking subsisting services, internal processes and operational guidelines to ease foreign exchange demand pressure. And this is coming on the back of rising demand and rising demands and contracting supply of dollars across different market segments. So what they're looking at now is that at the parallel market, the Naira has weakened significantly in the past weeks as the summer demand spike continues. So what they are looking at now is, as the Naira has dropped against the greenback to an all-time high of 718. I'm just realizing that.
It's over 700 Naira now.
That's over 700 Naira. I'm just realizing that. So what they're looking at is that due to the current market realities of foreign exchange, you will no longer be able to use certain cards, your Naira MasterCard, your Naira credit card, virtual card, prepaid Naira, your Naira cards generally for international transactions, because the exchange rate is not going to be
crazy.
Yes, exactly. By the time you are paying, it'll not be as if you are paying and everything in your account is swiped off. So what they're looking at now is to look at some operational guidelines, some internal processes, trying to see how they can make things easier for especially travelers, PTA, BTAs and co. Well, you can get more details, to that. Yes, you can get more details to that story on page 18 of the Guardian newspaper. We're still on to Mainland 98.3 FM. It's trends in the papers. We're looking through the major headlines from the dailies this morning. Oh, look at that. Fuad, just please hold. Okay. So, Fuad, say hello to Adeyemi.
Yes,
Adeyemi, say hello to Fuad.
Good morning, Fuad. Good morning,
Good morning, Oloye Saka.
No, nobody has put a cocoa on my head.
I'm giving it to you now.
He's giving it to you now.
I know.
Please kindly accept. Please kindly, I beg, accept.
No, what politicians give you such a thing, it comes at a price.
Fuad, when did you join politics?
You remember we're trying to get a form for him now.
And we didn't succeed.
That made him a point. At least we're calling him His Excellency during that period.
For 2 weeks. It's okay. All right, let's look at the trending story. Thank you very much, DME, for joining in this morning. All right, so we're on to the Punch newspaper now, and the major headline there: Ayu must go. PDP calls emergency meeting over governors. Others gang up. The riders as Wike, Makinde, Fayose, George, Ghana, others pull out of presidential campaign. For what? Yesterday we had a discussion that Fayose, was doing some sort of mediation.
Emissary of peace.
It was he has pulled out too.
He has the right to pull out now. He's not part of the group, the Ayu must go group.
So he's no longer he's no longer a preacher of war.
He has abandoned his ambassadorial job. I don't know. Maybe he has anything to say. Me, I've spoken enough about the people and I'm tired.
Okay, well, let's hear from DME. DME, so PDP's crisis has gone to a certain height right now, as some factions, you know that Wike is on the Presidential Campaign Council as well as some other presidential aspirants, But what we're looking at, and then Sheyi Makinde is supposed to be the Southwest coordinator, for the presidential campaign. But what we got now, or what we're getting now, is that Wike's camp and his people, they have pulled out of the presidential campaign, saying that they are not going to be a part of the presidential campaign activities until Ayu leaves office.
You see, I remember the valid argument of Nurudeen Adegbero that said, for now, what PDP has is a presidential candidate, not a president. Now, what happens if they lose at the election, or the general election? So, as well as the argument was, we probably would have, flown with it if Atiku had been wise enough to do the right thing. But Atiku has shown us that it's not a unifier, it's a destroyer. How can you, as a vice presidential candidate, working against the zoning principle of your party, your two spokespersons are from the north. Bahara from North Central, you have Dino Melaya from North Central. I think that wasn't bad enough. Your DG of your campaign is from Northwest. Tamboa. I don't understand how I think it's the peak of probably reached of so much arrogance by Atiku. I don't know why you can't look at Southwest or Southeast. I think it's not me trying to push people forward. If you had gone for, Wilson in PDP as a DG of his campaign, that would have shown Atiku as a unifier. Even if you had gone for Ayim Pius, who also contested with him, I was okay, fine. Go and be my DG. We've seen that you are running an uninclusive campaign. So how can you, a northerner that works against the ethics of zoning of your party, you are from North, your spokespersons are from North Central,
okay, so DME, Fuad.
Yes.
Do you agree with DME's analysis? The fact that, if you look deep into people that are holding strategic positions in the campaign council for Atiku,
yes, from the north.
Do you agree with? Let's not forget that one of the major. One of the major points that Atiku has been, putting out as regards his campaign and manifesto is the fact that he believes, in the
unifier.
Yes. So, what are your thoughts? So we can move on to other stories.
Well, I really don't see any problem with who he appoints for as his campaign team. Somebody is just campaign, and it's a strategic thing. He wants people that can deliver on the job. And if in his own estimation and wisdom, those are the guys that can do the job for him.
But Fuad, let me take you on there.
Okay.
How do you take a Tambua that Ayu was seen in a video a few hours after the province calling them the hero of the convention?
Yes.
Now the DG. How would that appeal to people of Southeast or Southwest or South?
The question you should ask yourself, is what value does Atiku really place on the people of the South and Southwest?
And so we're still saying the same thing.
And so, why making this kind of judgment?
And that Atiku is arrogant. That's the bottom line.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. So, from what I'm getting, you're both saying the same thing. But the writers to this particular story, Southern PDP bloc says Atiku failed to honor London agreement with Rivers governor's camp. All right, so they had an agreement in London. They came back to Nigeria. I don't know what happened. I cannot decide Ayu's fate. Ex-Vice President replies aggrieved campaign council members. More details on page 2 of the Punch newspaper.
You cannot decide, but can influence it.
Of course, you can. That's why I just said it this morning.
But he's not going to force him now.
But he can always influence him. He can prevail on him. He can appeal to him. He has ways to do it if he wants to do it.
And if I lost Nigeria because it was Nigeria or PDP to get to power. What is about being the party chairman? He does not resign. He himself.
It's okay.
And I will be celebrated and Wiki will be put at the end of the day.
All right, thank you. All right, more details on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Moving on. United Nations General Assembly, Buhari promises credible polls, seeks debt forgiveness. And that's on page 30 of the Punch.
With debt forgiveness? Who will forgive? With debt forgiveness? How many times?
He wasn't speaking for Nigeria. He was speaking for poor African countries.
No, for Nigeria and poor African countries. Are you not poor?
We are not poor. We are not poor.
Are we?
We are not poor. No, we are not.
Okay, let me tell you how poor you are. Which route are we constructing Nigeria without borrowing money, without borrowing funds?
Fuad.
We made ourselves poor. We're actually not poor. We're blessed.
Why are you being positive? We are poor.
We are not
poor. Whether we are poor or God created us poor, we are poor at the moment.
But I'm sure the president was actually talking about Nigeria and other African countries. So if the president considers us poor, then we are poor. Right? No,
we are poor now.
Hold on.
What's the value of your naira?
Thank you very much, Adeyemi.
I didn't say our naira, I said your naira.
I forbid it. I'm not poor. And Nigeria is not poor.
But the country is poor. Nigeria is poor.
Demi, thank you. Fuad, thank you. What? The speech said, or the president said, poor African countries. He was but more details on page 30 for people that want to know if Nigeria, if you mention Nigeria as one of the.
He was talking about Nigeria too. Now, were you going to be appealing for other African countries without thinking about Nigeria? He's talking about Nigeria precisely.
He can have good thoughts towards other
countries. Don't let us say SDG goals, even MD Millennium Development Goals. That was set out. We did not even meet up with it because we fall short of everything.
Okay.
That qualifies us as a poor country.
Well, more details on page 30 of the Punch newspaper. It's okay, thank you. I don't know why the argument is whether we are poor or we are not poor. Fraudsters hack bank. Transfer 523 million naira to 225 accounts. Did you receive money yesterday?
No.
If I did too, I would have returned it, but
okay.
The story for me is we can look at it from the criminal angle.
Mm-hmm.
But one other thing we should look at it is the brain drain that is actually in the bank.
Cyber security.
Yeah, because most of the good hands in that sector have, in that using that word, japa, have left the country, and cyber security of most banks are so porous that everything can happen.
As well. More details on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. We also have hoodlums raid Ogun communities, Q3. Police investigate. Also on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch. No post-conviction bail for Baba Ijesha. Court rules. And that's on page 12 of the Punch newspaper.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still on. And now, beside the masthead of the Punch, Northern Christians will mobilize against Muslim ticket, and that's coming from Lawal. That's I'm guessing Babachir. Yes, Lawal. More details on page 30. Above the masthead of the Punch, ASU to appeal ruling. Parents want strike ended. All right, and that's on page 16 of the Punch newspaper. Senate confirms Ariwola new CJN gets agenda. That's on page 12. Court sets aside $47 million Paris Club payment judgment. Out of 400.
No, that's not the consultancy fee that Fuad's rent.
Created. Did it?
Yes, no.
Well, is there any other Paris Club that we are having any discussions with as regards funds?
The guy I don't know, Malawi did a lot of things when it comes to repatriation of funds. The same thing with Abacha loot. All of a sudden, we have that the country has to pay the local certain amount of money. The guy just created a lot of, bureaucracy.
Okay, but this particular one, a federal high court in Abuja has set aside a consent judgment entered in favor of a company, Panic Alert Security Systems Limited, against the trustees of the Nigeria Governors Forum. Okay, so yes, it's the same payments that we had been discussing as regards Malami, and the governors saying that they should not take the money from their allocation. So yes.
Well, sir, can you imagine this? I don't. But let's say this: the Nigerian Governors Forum is an operation. It's trained to the Constitution, and that's the truth. That organization, that association, is not backed by any provision of the law.
I think it's not backed by law. But they can come together and make them. I don't think they will be making any.
No, but the matter is, we can be an association, but to not give them so much influence over state matters that, especially constitutional matters, because whether we like it or not, when we're debating here, it falls under the section 1832 of the National Constitution, which is public revenue. So how can an organization that's not backed by any law, when I mean any law, Constitution or House of National Assembly, we're having so much influence and stay. We are fastly drifting towards being a
politician wielding such power, but the positions of the people in the association, if you look at us on this particular story as regards the Paris Club payment judgment on page 8, and finally from there, so people are pointing fingers.
That's not true. That the military guys are heavily invested in this oil testing and
petroleum.
You can't know us. The presidency that was at Fuad, you have a presidency that is very active and not a president. So the presidency has not deemed him fit to.
The military guys who cannot do it alone.
Maybe to appeal to the conscience of the presidency. So maybe they can pass across to the president.
All right, it's okay. The point is that the people are fingering. People are accusing. Pengasin is accusing the military of being in bed with oil thieves. That's basically what that report is saying. But that's the allegation that Pengasin is putting out there. But more details on.
Those are the people that should know. Sandra. They are the people that should know.
Yes.
So if they are saying it, we should take them seriously.
All right, more details on page 18 of the Punch newspaper, and that's it from the Punch. Let's move on now to the Nation newspaper. And, the front page of the Nation newspaper, the major headline, PDP quakes as Wike's group opts out of Atiku's campaign. And the writer is Camp insists Ayu must quit. And chairman won't be forced out, says Atiku. Well, you can get more details on page 3 of the.
I really wish Atiku wants to become the president in 2023.
Why would you say that?
Honest. The way he's handling the guys of the party.
Maybe he's just playing a game for somebody. Maybe he's a placeholder.
Hello. Excuse me.
He's not acting and sounding like a placeholder.
It's okay.
It's all right.
This thing.
Placeholder for who?
No, Fuad. Thank you. It's okay. Thank you very much. What is happening this morning? Please. The point here is it could be. Do you think that Atiku is just trying to play safe? Maybe does not want to embarrass anyone or does not want to offend
It's not
anyone.
unified because it's trying to appeal to what the perceived larger or the large voting bloc of the north or from north. So it's not a unifier.
All right. Well, as it is now, Wike's camp is saying that their position is not negotiable. You must go for them to be a part of the presidential campaign activities. This is happening in exactly a week's time. Next week, Wednesday, campaigns will start. And if Sheyi Makinde, who's supposed to be the Southwest coordinator for the presidential campaign for Atiku, is also a part of this camp, I don't know how far PDP will be able to go in the Southwest now. All right, but more details on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. We also have here, Buhari, I will bequeath legacy of credible polls. And that is at the 77th United Nations General Assembly held in New York, United States. He said a whole lot at, saying that, this would be his last speech as international, speaking to a global audience as the president of Nigeria. Come next year, a new representative of Nigeria will be on the global scene. More details on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. We also have court order won't stop negotiation with ASU, says Ngige. And the riders to that, VCs to reopen varsity soon, appeal not ruled out, say lecturers. So the report that we're getting from the Nation is that ASU, the federal government has assured that the directive from the National Industrial Court of Nigeria to university teachers to resume strike would not stop it from continuing negotiations with ASU. Can we take their word for it?
No, I think for me, what I learned, unless I understand to be corrected, that was an interpolatory injunction. So this injunction is like an injunction that has a lifespan of 14 days. So after 14 days, what happens?
Well, ASU has said that they have a right to appeal the court's
directive. No, and if they appeal, whether we like it or not, if that judgment is even a bad judgment or everything, if it's not vacated by higher court, it means a valid court pronouncement. So then, if they appeal and it's struck out, good for ASU. And even if there's a timeline for it, 14 days it expires, and we still go back to status quo.
All right, I just want to ask one question before we quickly move on. Is the fact that at this point now, the federal government is saying that with this ruling, there is no victor, no vanquished. Is that true?
That's just being politically correct. He's just trying to faff around with the statement. The fact is, and I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying it from a layman perspective now, not as a lawyer.
Okay.
The judgment has come, and I said basic law, according to people that should know, have said that you don't force an unwilling employee on a willing employer.
Okay.
Vice versa too. If the lecturers don't resume back to class, what would happen?
Well, more details on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. We also have here, Shekarau notifies Senate of defection to PDP.
Shekarau is the most confused politician in Nigeria now. His name, where did his name come out yesterday, Sandra? NMPP.
Okay.
The list that was released yesterday, his name counts from NMPP. He has defected to the PDP.
As
it is now, here we are with this
particular. It's probably even losing his seat before the election, sir.
What did you say?
He's probably losing his seat before election, sir.
Okay.
He has lost before we even go to the polls.
Well,
your name came out from NMPP.
NMPP, exactly. Because what we have in the report is that, yesterday he formally defected from NMPP to PDP, alleging unfair treatment by the NMPP's leadership.
The guy will still go back to Kwankwaso because if he looks at the fact that he's not going back to the Senate, or he might not go back to the Senate, and it looks at Atiku presidency is now like an Abiku.
Well,
he has a ticket from the NMPP.
NMPP, exactly. Is it go? He
But that's why I
can't
think
carry
they
that
still go back.
mandate to the PDP. The PDP already has a candidate for that particular constituency.
What I can say is even the Kwakwaso's man.
Okay. Well, more details on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. Hoodlums burgle Ekiti SDP Secretariat. That's on page 27.
What is your going to do today?
I don't know. 600 million naira empowerment grant for 30,000 in Kwara State. That's on page 27 of the Nation newspaper. We also have government okayed $9 billion PPP project in 11 years. And that's on page 8 of the Nation newspaper. All right. And now above the masthead of the Nation newspaper, we have 95.4 million liters crude oil stolen daily. And that's coming from the government.
Now, the question is this. For us to arrive at a figure of what was stolen or what is stolen daily, that means we've actually, at a point during the research or analysis, identified the point of theft.
If you know what we stolen, you must know how it is stolen.
You must know how it's stolen and where it is stolen.
Okay.
So what do we do about it? What have they been doing about it? We should also be getting that.
Well, this is still riding on that particular story from Pengasan, but now the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission (NUPRC) is saying that 95.4 million liters or 600,000 barrels of crude oil were stolen daily, and it is said that a barrel contains 159 liters. So Pengasan also say that personnel of various security agencies deployed to the Niger Delta should be held accountable for the high rate of crude oil theft. The Senate is also lamenting the economic sabotage occasioned by the massive oil theft, fearing it would frustrate the implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act, if not urgently curbed. It's a very long read though, but you can get more details on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Moving on now. Nigeria, US, Germany, others seal pact on food security. And that's on page 8 of the Nation newspaper.
Nigeria is the only unserious signatory to that pact.
Why would you say so? Okay.
How do we even get to produce the food before we can even secure it? The primary chain, the first chain in that chain of production of food security is probably producing coming up with the agri produce. Can we go to the farms?
Well, as they've signed the
pact,
pact,
we bury our head in the sun like an ostrich.
Well, this pact has been signed, and hopefully this will bring some sort of succor to some parts of the country.
Those people took an unserious Nigeria seriously to sign a pact with us. How are we going to fulfill our own obligation? How?
All right. Well, more details.
I on the 20 castles of Buhari in his ranch that has never grown 1999.
More details on page 8 of the Nation newspaper. Senate confirms Ariwola as Chief Justice of Nigeria. That's on page 2. And finally, from the Nation newspaper, dignitaries greet Remi Tinubu at 62. And that is the last story, or the final story that's trending on the front page of the Nation. You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM, and right now we are on Trends in the Papers, looking through the front pages of our dailies and looking through the trending stories from there. I have Fuhad Sahid via the phone line and Adeyemi Saka. Now, we're going to round things up with Vanguard newspaper, and the major headline from Vanguard is why court ordered ASU to call off 7-month-long strike. And the riders to that is ASU to appeal court order on resumption today. It's a win-win situation, says Nans. Everybody is tired of strike, says the parents. Federal government declares no victor, no vanquished. To order VCs to reopen varsities adds it within ASU's rights to appeal. More details on page 7 of Vanguard newspaper. Leaked memo. No crisis among Supreme Court justices, says CJN. And that's on page 33 of Vanguard newspaper. Autumn begs UN to pay attention to humanitarian crisis in Benue North Central. That's on page 32 of Vanguard. We also have 2023, government won't fund political parties. And that's coming from Gbajabiamila. And that's on page 34 of Vanguard newspaper. Moving on.
Okay, now, sorry, before you click on, you
Okay.
don't want to form political parties as it's been done before, because INEC used to give political parties certain amounts of money. And you're actually saying you are now putting an unrealistic tag or, a tab or cap on budget, on political spendings and getting sponsors.
Well,
You can't need to take an average, yeah?
all right.
So if the government will not be funding, which I support completely, so where do you expect the politicians to get money to fund their campaigns or the political party?
They can
Take something.
they can stick on games.
Please, I beg. I don't know where DM is coming from today. DM said that we are poor, and now he's saying that they should stake on some people. Please, moving on.
I call the cap.
PDP crisis. I can't force IU to resign. Atiku insists. Right after that, we are out of your campaign council unless IU quits. That's coming from
I
Wiki.
think we don't send those people. The way it's talking.
Are you?
You know,
And the guy is a placeholder.
Sandra, it took him time to even go and meet with VK. I'm sure I think he has this mind that, look, I can run this thing alone. Who are these guys? If not for VK, honestly, the way he's doing it, it's not about me. I'm not thinking about placeholder. I'm just thinking that he feels he has the capacity to do this alone. So all of this, yes, and it took him a long time to meet with VK. Even in the UK, if you look at his body language, he was like, well, it's not that they just tell me to come and say, who are you gone? He may have what we don't know. He may have an understanding of how to win the elections, and than what we see here. But again,
all right.
I think he's not a new breed politician. He's been there since 1992, 93. So he knows the game. So.
All right. Well, at this time now, we have to take a break and then come back for Mainland Focus. We'll come back for Mainland Focus. All right. And as we all know, today is Thursday, so you can when we come back, I'll take, the major trending stories, and you can pick whichever one you want to focus on and share your thoughts and contribute. 98.3 FM, and we will be right back.
Everyone always says I look young and ageless, and I just smile because deep down, I know who to thank. Being with you is refreshing.
So if you know debt is a good thing, why are you not begging for debt cancellation?
Mm.
And what the debt was incurred, the infrastructure of ground, is it corresponding to the size of debt we've acquired or incurred? I tell people I cannot be let me say this, that as a governor of a state, if I incur a debt of 500 billion naira, if not anything, two things we'll see it as we'll probably show off for the debt incurred: good road and health facilities. So
Right.
the so-called rail line that incurs so much debt for, well, which one has been completed?
Okay.
When it talks about the infrastructure, that they will tell you second Niger Bridge, Lagos Ibadan Expressway. I'm forgetting that they will tell you maybe Badagry, whatever. I forget that there's Tukuk Pond handling some of this project. The resurfacing of Kaduna to Abuja to Kano road, Kaduna to Zaria to Kano has not been completed since 2016 or 2017.
Right.
What have they done?
Okay, well, so that's the DM's thoughts as regards, the president seeking for debt forgiveness at the United Nations General Assembly. That is the one that is, speaking to DM's nerves this morning. All right, so 09136000410, 09136000410. That's the number for you to call. You can send a text message or a WhatsApp message and share your contributions this morning on Mainland Focus. All right, so pick whichever one of the trending stories I read out earlier and share your contributions. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning.
Good morning today and you over there. So,
Morning, the former.
yes, how is everything?
Thank God, sir.
I heard that you stay with Sandra until the program closed this morning.
Yes, I will.
Because I want to hear your input in your input concerning the Ukraine and the Russia. So you are always interested in your own angle. So I'll be waiting for your angle today.
No problem, sir.
All
Okay, based on post words to this, I think that Nigeria should not be forgiven. For how many times are we going to be asking for a pardon for those people who are owing up in Africa? Because most of them, as DME and Anna, most of the moral we have borrowed so far, we have not seen the privilege of the money at all. Neither are we really enjoy most of the infrastructure that I'm mentioning. We are not seeing it at all. Across the nation, there are some bad federal government roads, although the state also has its own palaver. But the sincerity of it, the money this government has borrowed so far, we are here to see the benefit, the impact of the money. Concerning the issue of the ASU, I will stay with ASU. ASU must know that matter until truly, to be sincere, most what ASU is fighting for, they are the one who know what they are fighting for. Even though if the parents of the children did not know, ASU know what they are fighting, because what the children who studied abroad have enjoying and benefiting. So they want our children here also to be part of it. So if the governor can attend to them properly, at the end of the day, most of the people put their children in private institutions. They will come to federal or state university. So I'm supporting us for this. ASU must not pray. They still have another opportunity to represent their case in the court. I pray at the end of the day, it should be to the favor of ASU. For the issue of
okay, so Ufoma, thank you very much. You've 2 minutes is up. It's all right. Thank you very much for your contribution this morning. Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right, we appreciate. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Omobola Sandra.
Good morning, Pastor Ambrose.
Good to hear from you, Deyemi Saka.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning, Fuad. Yes, we thank God for another day that the Lord has made. Mr. President asking for debt forgiveness. No wonder he was just borrowing the money. He thinks that United Nations will just forgive debts like that, Abi. What exactly has he used the money for?
because I know the sympathizers of this government, they will tell you Second Niger Bridge and the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. That's all. What exactly has Mr. President used that money for? Other than he was giving Niger cars, he was giving Iraq, or is it Iraq or Iran? Afghanistan money, all of those frivolous things. What impact has it made? Apart from even that debt forgiveness, Abacha's all the monies Abacha vomited, what did he use them for? So this was his plan, Abi. It will not work. It will not work. So it will be whether he's enjoying that, it will be on record now that during his time, this is what happened. As for Senator Ike Ekwere Madu, they should declare that it's vacant. You see, Nigerians, we are such people that the same people that impoverish us, when they are in pains, we sympathize with them. I am telling you the truth. This senator, his seat should be declared vacant because they are part of the system. If the Nigerian health sector was working, would he have taken his daughter to Britain, and will he not have seen donors here? But because the system is not working, and they all contributed one way or the other, he's been the deputy senate president for a very long time, and eventually he took that young boy there. When that boy kidney could not match, maybe he should have left the poor boy alone. He wanted to bring him back by all means, and I don't know if the daughter, because I don't believe that the sins of the daughter, the father should be visited on the daughter. I don't believe so.
Okay.
So, I don't know if she's been able to get a donor, but I don't want to, the daughter has nothing to do with all of this. But for himself, let his seat be declared vacant. They are part of the problem. And Nemesis will catch up with each one of them, one after the other. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning to you, Mainland FM.
Good morning.
My name is Abiodun Bakari.
Okay.
Thank God for another day.
Yes.
Though it's a sad day for me. From the beginning of this ceremony, I've been feeling very unhappy, having slight headache. And I tried to investigate what is responsible. I discovered that it's President Buhari's speech in the United Nations. Yes.
So you and the MF are feeling the same way.
In fact, it was I was on the bed trying to put myself together. I slept quite late yesterday while walking. So to stand up this morning was like noticed that I was dragging myself. So I decided to use the news to use it as a propelling factor to stand up. When I saw that Buhari's request, I felt like going back to sleep again. It's an unnecessary call. It's an embarrassment of the highest order. When a president of a country like Nigeria that has a slot for crude oil production for 1.8 million per day is producing less than 1 million per day, and the 1 million, about 30% of that 1 million production is being stolen. And the same president is going before a reasonable and intelligent set of people asking that his debt should be forgiven. The debt that is traced to inability to perform, the debt that is traced to corruption and stealing, the debt that is traced to bad governance. And you are asking the global body to come to your rescue for your non-performance and for your failure. It's not a good day for me, Sandra, and and Fuad. So I feel that the president should learn to prepare himself better for outing next time. Nigeria should not be embarrassed on the global scene like this. We are better. Nigeria is too rich to be poor and too poor to be rich. Just to respond to DMA's and Fuad's arguments as to whether Nigeria is poor or rich. Nigeria is too rich to be poor and too poor to be rich. There is wealth all around us, yet we have people who don't have capacity ruling, and then they think that they can go back for forgiveness. So I feel that is one of the stories that provoked me. I feel like going back to bed, but I'm already driving. So Mr. President should learn to do better, please. We have enough here. We don't need to beg for anybody to forgive our debts.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Have
you.
a nice morning.
Sandra,
Thank
a
you very
quick one
much.
before you pick the next call. A quick
Okay.
one from me. I listened to a clip or an interview of Al Mustafa, and he said something very profound. He said there's a mineral called rhodium in Kaduna. That a kilogram of rhodium, which I went for checking, just a kilogram, is sold for 480 something thousand US dollars. So imagine Nigeria just go there to just pack 10 kilograms or 100 kilograms.
Wow. And
Or 1,000 kilograms
well,
and sell.
has this been confirmed?
Well, it said we know that we are rich in a lot of mineral resources.
Yes.
Mustafa is the former CSO to Abacha. And I know, and I've sat down with him once or twice. I know what we've said.
And also
what
a
we've
current presidential aspirant.
So for him to have said it, based on what he has been exposed to, he won't be lying.
All right. Well, let's take more contributions. 09136000410. What is your focus? Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello, Sandra.
Yes. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Are you hearing me?
Yes. Loud and clear.
Okay. Peter Monson is calling from Shomolu.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Peter.
Mr. Adeyemi, I need to see you face to face. You will tell me if you don't want to tell others. Where were you? We will talk on that. Morning, Ogaru.
Yes,
I can't wait to hear the day that Buhari will make his valedictory speech on Nigeria's podium. He has made the valedictory speech in the United Nations. My heart is at peace this morning that the next year, whether September or October, it will not be Buhari that will appear at United Nations. I'm happy for that. So I'm waiting also for the day that he will make his final speech next year and leave the stage so that the name Buhari as the president of Nigeria will no longer be on my mind. Because of all this disgrace, now you have an army that today they have a noble profession in Nigeria. That I tell everybody that my uncle was Adobe Sebarak. I was living with him there in my primary 4 and 5. And then I know what army stands for. In my family, we produce 5 soldiers. And today, we are linking Nigerian army, oh God, with thieves. That at the end of the day, even when Mogulu was telling us that they gave the army money to buy arms, they did not see arms, they did not see the money. And Mr. Buhari promoted the chief of army staff and gave him ambassadorial post in another. What a disgrace to not only Nigeria, to even the United Nations, that they have the got to go to United Nations. See, for me, it remains that the army has failed us under Buhari. The police have failed us because we thought that some arms were missing in the police armory. There is only the Air Force now that we can link on. Unfortunately, this is where Nigeria has found itself under Buhari. Finally, I want to say that Ivansu has a window to appeal this. Now, Siri, I was told that the court asked that the Islam should be given access to medical treatment. And if the government did not obey that, why should the government want us to obey their own judgment that they bought from black market? See, the point remains that let me leave it there. Sandra, have a nice day.
Hey. All right, thank you very much, Mr.
But
Peter.
a quick one from me. We cannot say the judgment will procure from black market. At least that will cast a doubt on the integrity of the court
Of the judiciary. All right, thank you very much for that one. Ooh. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, more than are they in by food?
Yes. So.
God bless them. The issue that caught my attention, actually, is number one, this ASU and the issue of the president asking for death forgiveness in the UN. Well, for the ASU, I cannot tell you how angry I am over the court ruling, the industrial court ruling. If you remember, since April, I personally, and maybe other lawyers have been calling, telling ASU to go to court instead of going on strike or continuing the strike. because the strike is primitive. You know, during the Shobola and the Modu era, strike was probably effective. But now, it's outdated. This is a modern era, an era of supremacy of the law, you know, rule of law. So also have themselves to blame for skipping over their rights, you know, and the government took advantage of it. The government we have is an autocratic government. So why did you allow yourself to skip over your rights instead of going to court? This strike would have been over since, you know, they did not go to court. If they have lawyers, the lawyers did not, they are just wasting their money paying lawyers. What of the actual lecturers? I'm sure some of them are lawyers. They did not see deeming fit to go to court. So I'm very, very angry over the executive of us to handle the matter. And right now they are on the defensive, you know, and the public opinion has turned against them, you know. Then the issue of Buhari calling on the UN to the
countries for debt forgiveness. Yeah.
Yes, you see, Nigeria is not in a position to ask for debt forgiveness. If I were those debtor nations like China and the rest of them, I will not forgive Nigeria's debt because the debt management of this country is very poor. You borrow for consumption. So so I will not forgive. Yes, their duty, the management of debt in Nigeria is very poor. Yes.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Peter. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm Mr. Ayam. I'm calling from Bokno.
Okay, please go ahead.
I want to react about Kano's denial of treatment.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why President Buhari is hearing demand of treatment.
Hello, hold on. No, the president is not denying. The court ordered that, Kano be allowed medical treatment. So that this is not on on the president.
Then why is
why is he not being allowed to go? Okay.
Yeah. So that is what I'm reacting on. So, or do they want the man to die in the process? So, please, I'm reacting that they should allow that man to go and treat himself, because if he dies there, it will not be easy for Nigeria.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate your contribution. Okay, so 091-36000410. Hello.
Sandra, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Mr. Kangbelina.
There me.
Sir.
Long time, sir.
Yes, sir.
How is politics?
I'm seriously apolitical.
It's okay. Sandra.
Yes.
But why did they allow this man to go to US? If all the presidents were in London. All the presidents were in London. Even the president of US was in London. Where the queen was being buried, and they allowed him to go there. Now he has messed up. People are blaming him. Also, I think we should have put this thing in a better way.
Oshibajo went for the funeral. The
president. Why would
the person to go?
No, that was Oshibajo's talent throughout this administration. It was good at visiting, paying condolence visits and attending to death matters.
A professor with all the greatest ones.
But that is what I'm saying. For this government, you have to pay condolence visits.
Why did he even accept that position? He should have a professor, a brilliant man like that. Anyway, that's apart.
Thank you.
You see, when they say that they're blaming that Nigeria should not forgive Nigeria, the people who gave us loan, who gave Nigeria that loan, they are the people I'm blaming now. Now this man is saying he should forgive the loan. When he was collecting the loan, You should have to pay back. Sat down to say, okay, what are you doing with this money? You collect the sum giving him, now he's asking for their forgiveness. You see the problem? I am putting the blame back to them. When you give somebody the first loan and he didn't use it in a proper way, or a lot of it was looted, why did you give him the second one? Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Mr. Kangbudina.
Sandra, I think a quick one for me here. The reason why a lot of countries opt for Chinese loans is it doesn't come with conditions. Like like the one from the Western world where they will give you conditions on how you must spend these and these and these and that. That's why China has the funds to throw around because of it's the way to expand their territory.
All right, that's quite profound. Let's take some more contributions. Hello,
good morning.
Good morning.
Mobala, my love. It's been a while.
Yes, it has, Miss Oluwadamila. How are you doing?
Ma, good morning.
You are welcome back for a short while.
Yes,
for me, Nigeria does not need any debt forgiveness.
Okay.
Because you can see that this is premeditated. It is intentional. That, okay, see, Obasanjo did it, and they forgave him. So why not him? If wishes were horses, beggars will rise. Nigeria needs no debt forgiveness. It's a wasteful government. Good morning.
Thank you, Ms. Oluwatosin. All right, 09136000410. You're on to Mainland Focus on Mainland 98.3 FM. And yes, we're taking contributions as regards any of the trending stories from the front pages of our dailies. We have quite a whole lot of trending stories, but a lot of people seem to be focusing more on the debt forgiveness request by the president at the United Nations General Assembly. There are other stories. We still have the PDP crisis with Wike's camp insisting that IU must go for them to participate in the presidential campaign activities. Also, the fact that the National Industrial Court of Nigeria has ruled that ASU should resume academic activities. Let's take some messages at this point now. We'll come back to taking phone calls soon. Good morning, Sandra, Adeyemi, and Fuhad. Governance under this administration will forever remain a scar in the conscience of Nigeria. How can it be that a government that is too rich to be poor can't sustain education in 7 months now and cannot negotiate but brought themselves low by taking ASU to court on debt forgiveness? Until the day that African leaders start taking the right initiative towards taking Africa in the right direction through ideas, that is necessarily we will be financial captives to Europe, America, Asia, and the likes. Coach Sam from Fagba sharing his own thoughts there. Good morning, Sandra and the rest in the studio. Why is it difficult for IU to step aside for peace to reign? Well, let them in the south here create a good revenue for Obi's victory. It's a welcome development. For the CGN, congratulations to Ariwola. For ASU, Nigeria government is going towards dictatorship. How can a reasonable government sue its institutions that is ought to be funded properly? Okay, that is ought to be funded properly to produce good graduates, even attract foreign students. Is it a crime for foreigners to gain admission and study in Nigeria? May God have mercy on this country. Daniel from Egbeda. All right, we also have good morning, Sandra, Fuhad, and Adeyemi. Mr. Adeyemi, it's good to hear from you again. We have missed you. On PDP's issue, Atiku is handling the issue as if he is not interested in winning the election, because if he does, he should be able to talk to IU to shift grounds. Then on the issue of ASU and federal government, the court judgment will not help solve the matter. Rather, it will compound the problem. For our president to go a begging, is it not a shame? What was the loan given used for? May God save Nigeria and Nigerians from our politicians. Adeniyi from Ijede in Ikorodu. Thank you very much. Oh, this is quite a long read. We'll come back to that. Good morning, Anne from Ojekule in Papa Jao in Mushi. My fear is concerning Nnamdi Kanu. They should please set him free. God forbid if anything should happen to him. Thank you very much, Anne. That is Anne soon. Okay, I'll take this one and then we'll move back to phone calls. Buhari seeking for debt cancellation is like a drunk in a bar asking his debts be paid by someone while he's still drinking. Could this be why he has gone on borrowing spree since for 7 years? May this prayer not be answered because these governments can't give good accounts of all these massive borrowings. The judge ordered DSS to allow Nnamdi Kanu change into a new cloth. Till date, he still appears in the same cloth, and now his health is getting bad. They should please allow him access to good medication. I advise ASU to call off the strike this week to appease the court and start a fresh one next week. This government has failed in all fronts. PDP stabbed Southeast in the back and their wala will not end, even as APC is also not an option. Where is Leah Sharibu? And that's Chijoke from Isolo, sharing his own thoughts there. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Melody, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Macaulay from Usud.
Good morning, Mr. Macaulay.
How about that day, me, my friend? Good morning.
It's greeting.
So, my stake is on this Nnamdi Kanu denial of medical facilities. So, the court has given the judgment that should be allowed to have access to medication. And now the DSS on their own, they see that they are above the entire government at the side of their own to deny him that access. Now it's like the government is plotting or rather planting bigger crisis if anything should happen to that man. Now everything is still abetting, the crisis abetting in parties. I think they should leverage on that to do the right thing so that the life of this man should be spared.
All right.
That is another thing. Then on the Buhari and the request for debt cancellation, maybe it's trying to match with that Obasanjo's record. If Obasanjo could be forgiven on a debt request, then Obasanjo came as a military president and as a civilian president, then he's trying to match his own record. I think he's not attached to that. That's why he wasted Nigerian money lavishly. Doing that he will be forgiven anytime he asks for that.
Okay.
And on a PDP crisis, PDP should sit up because they should not give way for this APC to come in. Though we have better options.
We have so many options, Mr. Macaulay. But thank you very much.
Labour Party, the brilliant. We are taking over.
All right, thank you. It's okay. All right, thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Sandra.
Good morning.
Adele, you are welcome, sir.
Yes.
God bless you all. This is Mr. Cherry Emmanuel from Ijaniki.
Okay.
I want to talk about Atiku. You see, Atiku never won election in Nigeria, and people don't recognize that. All this while, if he come back, he will contest. He use money and buy a position. He contest. He go back to Dubai. That is why he
You can't say he used money to buy position.
He don't know anything happening in Nigeria.
Okay.
He based in Dubai. Then concerning this Niger bridge, any money that is coming from Abacha or anywhere, Buhari government will say that using it for second Niger bridge. That second Niger bridge, Nigerian government have only 20% contribution in that bridge. If you go there now, you will see toll gates going and coming. So you ask yourself, why only Niger bridge with toll gates in the whole Nigeria?
Mr. Cherry, if you are claiming that Nigeria only has 20%, who owns the remaining 80%?
The 80%, no, Nigeria owns 20%, Delta State 10%, the Anambra State 10%, the contractor 60%. That is why they rent that particular toll gate there to collect their money back.
Okay, well, that's not confirmed, but carry on.
Yeah. So concerning the debt, people comparing Buhari and Obasanjo for seeking for debt forgiveness. Yes.
Okay.
Obasanjo, during this time, he worked with people that are working with World Bank, people working with international loan organizations. That is why he was able to get that access and agreed to cancel it. Okonjo-Iweala and Co. So for Buhari going to United Nations seeking for the cancellation, it's just like a little baby crying where crowd are making noise. Nobody will hear his voice.
All right. Thank you very
so
much.
So he should be ready to pay for that debt, or his generations will pay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cherry. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Austin Godson from Ojibwe.
Oh, good morning.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yes, it has. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm very fine, and you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. They can hear you.
Yeah. So I have two contributions and one question. All right. So the first one is yesterday when I heard the news about Buhari seeking for forgiveness of Nigerian debt, I was just laughing at the point. I just say, "Man, you
Hey,
because
okay.
I see no reason why you be borrowing money. You keep borrowing and keep borrowing, without putting, proper infrastructure that will help you to, give you enough finance to pay back your loan. And now you are standing to ask for forgiveness. Okay, for example, if they forgive Nigerian debt, where are they going to get back their money from? Anyway, that's aside. Now, on the issue of ASU, like Oga Fuad said, now court is forcing them to go back to class. Is it that they are going to put a rope on their neck to tie them, drag them back to the
classrooms? Okay.
So if they fail now to resume back to school, are they going to be jailed? Are they going to be prosecuted? I don't know. Now, on my question now is, my question is directly to you. When is your name going to change? From me to Missy. Good morning.
It's okay. Thank you very much for your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Chiefs calling.
From Aja. How have you been,
Yes.
sir?
I would have loved to tag your station, Jagaban of media. But if I talk that, they will say I'm being apolitical. Because ASU has been political in all the actions. But I don't want to link you up with them. So I decided to call you Gerald of media. All right. So I listened attentively to Professor Shodeke yesterday. I've been following him. I'm telling you, when I was an undergraduate at the University of Lagos in the 80s, the argument this man is bringing up is not even sufficient to beat me as an undergraduate. I'm telling you the truth. Number one, this struggle.
I can hear you, Mr. Chooks.
You are listening. I'm talking. Yes.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, with you.
Yeah. This struggle that all of us we are in it is not only ASU. It's not only ASU.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chooks from Aja.
Okay, let me just round up. Let me round up.
All right.
Let me round up. Just to round up with the judgment of yesterday. The professor said they are going to appeal. In the judgment, go and study that judgment, go and read that judgment carefully. Where is the place of our students?
Okay.
The students, they are back out now. They said they are not proceeding with.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chooks.
No,
I'm just telling you.
No, you
And
need to wrap up now. Thank you so much.
Okay, when parents and students are saying they are not going along with the with.
All right, thank you very much. 09136000410. Hello, good morning.
Very good morning to you, Amobola Sandra.
Good morning, Prince Wires.
How are you today?
I'm well, thank you very much.
We thank God Adeyemi is back. Mr. Fuad, good morning to you.
Carry
are
on.
You there?
Yes, carry on, sir.
Okay, my dear.
Yes, sir.
You see, this morning, number one, the verdict of the industrial court yesterday, I must commend that judge. This time around, the both parties will find ground now to settle the matter. That judgment will make us to shift a little. It will make federal government to shift a little. The next meeting, it will get heard. If you say they are going to appeal, yes, is that right? But if the appeal is not granted, the corporate expression is not granted for them, they should resume and continue negotiating. Because that's one that is broken up between the ASU and the Speaker of the House. And before the other ministry, the president come together with the ASU, the next meeting they get here. And I'm praying for that. We want our children to go back to school. Yes, because this industrial court is not a legal court, it's a recognized court. So for me, let ASU, as they are going to appeal, fine good. But if the appeal is not grant them top of execution of the former party, they should go back to class. And for Baba CMB, asking for debt forgiveness. Yes, but it's not go for more borrowing. The one you borrow, if they forgive Nigeria, better for Nigeria. Well, Baba don't ask for the same thing. They got Nigeria. They got Nigeria, and what Baba left office and Jonathan level, they still have money. The money they will have, the one they borrow, what did they do with it? Some people will come and say, we talk of infrastructure. Nobody will tell me today. If I'm going to my field in my town, I pass through by the expressway, and it's not able. Would I thank God?
Thank you very much, Prince.
No, let me round up. Omobola. Hello?
Please round up.
I want to round up, please. I always follow Fasola. All the six geopolitical so network always ongoing. So cook money is going on. I go round and find out before I come to say something. Even though my town road to me is
thank you, Prince Wise.
And I want the road to be completed. Good morning to you, my dearest Sandra in Lagos.
Thank you very much.
And I put it to for Aba Road from the Imo section that leads into from the Imo section that leads into Aba and Aba to Port Harcourt is bad.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Damlola.
Good morning, Damlola.
How you guys doing? Mr. BME, welcome back.
Good morning, Damlola.
Yeah, these are my views. The first one on the deck. See, if it was before, maybe we had issues with natural disasters. It's possible we can actually ask for, relief. But these ones are human disasters. So why should anybody? It's like somebody borrowed the money to go and gamble. You now lost the money. You cannot tell the person you are dying.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, did we lose the call?
I think we lost the call.
I think we lost that call. All right, so let's take some messages at this point now, and then we can begin to wrap things up on Mainland Focus for this morning. I have here, I am of the opinion the crisis in PDP might result to the party losing the presidential race. Okay, I think he has called back.
Hello?
Okay, please wrap,
you.
Yes, please wrap things up.
So this is my view, and we're not going there saying we should consider poor African countries. I think he doesn't know what he's saying. I'm not forced to grant us another relief again. We did force them because we're coming from the military era. So they wanted us to embed transference democracy. I said they can actually obey the court and start another one next week. I don't know how to that is anything, but someone said they can be done because this is it. Why would the national court decide to favor one aspect and not favor the other? Something is not right. So I feel they should obey the court for that, and maybe they can also resume on that one again. That's one. Thank you very much.
That one again. I'm of the opinion the crisis in PDP might result to the party losing the presidential race to another party. An attempt by ASU to resume for lectures and continue to negotiate further would make ASU lose its credibility in the eyes of students and parents. And that's Eleshi from LASU. Also have good morning, Sandra and Fuhad. The lecturers that refuse to resume will be deemed to have absconded from work. The employer reserves the right to sack such lecturers. Femi from Ogba. Thank you very much. I also have good morning, Mainland crew. Atiku is indirectly saying with or without Wike, he could win the presidential elections come 2023. He's saying nobody is indispensable. Naturally, Atiku, these are warning signs to voting Nigerians. We can't afford to have, such, issues. And that's engineer Oluyemi Doyin from Ketu, sharing his own contributions this morning. I also have here that... Okay, good morning, Sandra and Fuad. It is often said that what you reap from what you have sown. Some politicians think so much of themselves without remembering that iron sharpens iron. For Atiku and Ayu to believe they can issue Wike away, they can wish Wike away with levity, surely will be a big blow to their party come the presidential elections. A stitch in time saves 9. Uzoma from Isashi in Lagos, sharing his own thoughts. And I also have here, I salute you all this beautiful morning, motivational message and wrong philosophies. All fingers are not equal. God will be our strength. Good morning. And that's Osi Moral from Ikeja Cantonment. All right. We also have greetings from Baba Femo in Ikeja. Also, good morning. This is Steve Ikelu from Maryland. Wike and his group are trying to thwart a particular northern agenda. I doubt if they would succeed because the North is watching with keen interest. I wish them well, though. Steve Ikelu from Maryland, good morning. Okay, we also have good morning. This government has disrupted a lot of things, and I pray that they don't come back. This government can't come back now. Thank you very much, Mr. Ogidi from Ireland. All right, I appreciate. Good morning, Mainland FM. Okay, there's no name or location from this particular message. So we can't. We need to be able to attribute a message to someone else. All right. Okay. To someone. Sorry. Good morning, Sandra, Adeyemi, and the entire Mainland FM. Though nothing is too good this morning when I've been at home for over 7 months plus and still counting. And this is Moses from Ikeja. And saying that to start with, the industrial court ruling over ASU federal government face-off is a saying that you can actually drive a horse to a river, but you can't compel it to drink water. That's a good one. Thank you very much for your contributions, though, so far. Apologies, we couldn't take all of the message and all of the phone calls, but tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is another day for us to talk what is trending from the papers. Stay with us, however. We'll be back by 9:45 for Global View, where we discuss international. My name still remains Omobola Sandra, and you're still on to Mainland 98.3 FM, and we are the sound of Lagos.
For a very long time, I was in a toxic relationship with my partner. I kept making excuses. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe I need to refresh. Maybe I should log out and log in again. Maybe I need to go out and